Hi, how's it going, guys? This is Mufta of GBFX. Happy New Year to everyone. So we'll just jump straight into it. We have 8 pairs that we're going to analyze today. That's the Euro UAD, Euro AUD, Pound NZD, Pound AUD, Euro New Zealand, US dollar, Pound USD, and the rest. So this chart right here is Euro AUD, Euro Australian dollar. So on the monthly, you could see that this pair is just bounced over resistance on the monthly time frame, and we have very long candles, very long bloody candles here, which is giving us bearish direction basically. So what you're going to do is you go into the smaller time frame. When we go to the smaller time frame, you can see that in this smaller time frame, this pair is actually ranging. So there's a range here basically. We find a map to it, and we map this range. We mark it out. So right now we know we have a downward direction, and this pair is in a range. So what do you do after you get a direction? You are looking for a short in that direction basically. So what I'll be doing is waiting for a short in that particular direction. And that's what we're doing. So when you go to the weekly, you see that this is a good retracement, is a good Fibonacci retracement zone. If you have your RSI, sorry, excuse me, if you put your Fibo up from this level, you will see that this green zone here is actually a good retracement zone of this impulsive move that went to the upside. This move. So this, right? So hopefully here, but that is a long story. Right now it's ranging and the direction is down. So we want, first of all, a retracement back to the upside for a good risk to reward ratio. That's the main purpose of looking for a good retracement to the upside, because as a swing trader, I would not want to sell at this point. I would like to wait for perhaps a retracement to the top side before I do any short. So today's Monday, and I mean, it might be a little bit slow and tricky in the market this morning. But in the bigger view, the bigger picture of it, we're waiting for a retracement to the upside before we do any short. So hopefully we'll be waiting for the retracement to give us a double top at this level, double top, before we look for a short to the top, to the downside here for a continuation of this move. So that's what we'll be looking at for the Euro Australian dollar this morning. So as you know, we don't do fundamentals here. It's basically technical analysis. So the news, economic data, we don't care about any of that. We just do the chart. So we wait for retracement to the upside for a good risk to reward ratio. So that's our risk, that's our reward. Hopefully it pans out very, 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 very well. But in other words, if this doesn't go back and retraces down to this level before if it doesn't give us a good retracement back to this level and continues down, we should be looking for a good buy opportunity from here, from the green zone. So part of my videos, guys, this is the first video of the month, a little bit slow, so yeah, pardon me. Now this is the Pound NZD, Pound New Zealand dollar. So as usual, we start from the bigger time frame, tend to look for a bigger picture. You will see that there's a good double top. On the monthly time frame, there is a range. You know, this asset is ranging in the bigger time frame. And when we break it down to weekly, you can see that there is a top here. At the top here. There's another top here. So it's a double top. And after a double top, we expect to see a retracement to the downside. A continuation to the downside for at least the 61.8 level of the previous retracement level of the previous from the previous stop. So my 61.8 is around here. Let me just move this down here so as to see the bigger picture. So you always start from the bigger picture and look for direction. So you know the direction of this pair right now. We are looking for a downward direction. Basically, that's what we're looking for. And when we break it down to the daily, you see that this structure here. I'm a big believer in structure. So far as I see a structure, I could depict stuff from that. So you see this, the double top, and there has been a little retracement here. Give us another double top, and it has retraced down. So this might give us a clue. This looks like a potential heads and shoulders, so to say. So this is the shoulder, this is the head. Perhaps another shoulder forming up over here, might form up over here. So I would be waiting for a retracement, the continuation of this trend to the upside here before a short. As a swing trader, that's what I'll be doing. I will be looking for short, because basically I would want a very good risk to reward ratio because of the time frame we are looking at. But right now it's Monday and this just broke out of this range and it might continue down this way, or might even get stuck over here and do a retracement back. But either way, this is my plan. This is what I'll be sticking with. I'll be waiting for it to retrace to the top side. If it doesn't and comes down here, fine. No money lost. So the most important thing is to wait for your plan. Have a bigger a bigger view of what might happen, and try to play with it. Excuse me. So there's a pound AUD. Okay, no analysis of pound AUD. Euro New Zealand dollar. Let's go Euro New Zealand dollar. From last year, we've been trying to call this pair, and I mean it has been great. So first of all, there's a double top, or even a triple top, however you may call it. I hope you know what a triple or double top is. So here is the top, here is another top, here is another top. So more of a triple top, and a triple top is a reversal. It's a reversal pattern. It's a likely reversal pattern. So on the bigger time frame, you see there are bloody candles jolting down this pair. So it has given us an idea of where the big time frame is going. So what we do is we go down to the smaller time frame to see how small we could break it down, so to say. So Euro AUD. So on the weekly time frame, you can see a little indecision candle here, and this might continue up a little bit. I'm breaking down to the daily time frame. There's a little bit of consolidation and distribution here, which might break out and flow to the downside here. So I'll be looking at. I'm not a breakout trader, so if you're a breakout trader, you will be looking to see if there's a breakout. If there's a breakout here, if there'll be a breakout of this range. So when there's a breakout of this range, this might be a good opportunity to get in on the sell. But for the swing trader that I am, I can't find a good setup here. I'll be waiting for God knows how long, but I'll still wait for this pair to get to this level and give me a double bottom before I take it up. I'll be buying this pair, but right now it's still down. So the smaller time frame traders, you would want to get in on this action. So you should be looking to sell flags because this pair is basically down. That's the Euro New Zealand dollar. So let's go to the New Zealand USD, the Kiwi dollar. So the Kiwi dollar is a little bit tricky. Here. So since last year, this pair has been giving us. It bottomed last year. Getting to December, you could see a double bottom on the weekly and monthly time frame. Here and here, there's a double bottom by the green. So there was a retracement. There was an impulsive move to the top side, and now it has hit resistance. So after I hit resistance on that same weekly time frame, you could see that when I bring out a Fibonacci retracement and I map out this impulsive move, I can comfortably say this retrace to the 61.8 level or Fibonacci level. And because of the experience that I have, I can tell to a specific level, that a specific degree, that this might continue up in the coming weeks. So what you should be looking at here, because on this trend line that you see, that the pair got broken out of this trend line, there has been a retest of this trend line, and it's possible that this might continue up to the top side, right? So it might give us something similar to an ascending triangle like this. So we could see in the coming weeks, we could see a retracement up, then down again from here. So there'll be a little bit of distribution here, but depending on the evidence over time, we could see a breakout to the top side, and maybe then we can see a short for me because of the long-term horizon that I have during trading. But for little time frame traders, the daily traders, you might want to call, if you are a very good trend line trader, you might want to see, you should be seeing a buy here at this moment, because there's a bounce of a retest of the broken trend line, a retest, a breakout, a retest of the broken trend line, right? And this likely might well happen. So I'll just be waiting patiently for this space to really cook up in the swing, to give me a really good swing setup before I do anything, basically. Now let's go to the pound USD. The pound, hit. If you followed our last analysis for the year last year, you see these levels actually got hit. So you might have made some coins for yourself. So the pound USD, as usual, we start from a bigger time frame. We have a look at what the bigger time frame is saying. From the bigger time frame, a double bottom here with a reversal level. And when we pick up our Fibonacci retracement zone, a Fibonacci retracement 2, you could comfortably say that this pair bounced off the 61.8 level, and sellers came in into the level at that level and sold this pair down. So we are seeing a little bit of distribution here at this point in time. So for breakout traders, you might want to wait for a breakout. So this is giving us something similar to a heads and shoulders pattern. One mistake we do is we think heads and shoulders will be perfect. Give us the perfect double top, the perfect shoulder, the perfect something like this. Usually that's what we assume heads and shoulders, but usually it's not always perfect. So you have to depict what you see from the market. So this might be a good head and shoulders pattern. The head, shoulder, left shoulder, and the right shoulder. So a breakout of the neckline. This is the neckline. This trend line is the neckline. A breakout of this trend line might give us a good view of where the cable is going. So when it breaks out to the downside, we should be looking for breakout traders should be selling, will come in aggressive and this might move volume to the downside. But as a swing trader, this has become a good support for buyers to come in. So when buyers come in here, they might pull this price up to this level or even higher to this level. So as a swing trader, I'll be waiting for that retracement to here. I'm waiting for that buy for those buyers to come in so that I could sell, because first of all, I have determined that this would be the direction of this trade is the direction of this the primary direction of the pair is downwards. So a head and shoulders might play out in the coming weeks. So a breakout of this should prompt breakout traders to sell this pair downwards. But the swing trader, a bigger time frame trader, I'll be waiting for a retracement to this place or this place. So depending on the evidence I then get after this pair gets to this place, I should be looking for a downward move over here. Right. Pound USD, Euro USD. Now let's do Euro USD for a while. So Euro USD also bounced off a good. When you look at the bigger time frame, you can see that there's a retracement going on. There's a recovery going on after the pounding over the couple of years from 2018, beginning of 2018. The Euro USD has been bearish, so a little bit of bull action started to occur here. So we might change our basic direction to upside. So even when that happens, we might not want to go for a very good. We might want to wait for shorts to happen. For when we go short on this pair, we want to be short for very small time frames. You don't want to be short for a very long time because the overall trajectory is up. So when we break it down to the weekly time frame, you see there was a pullback here, then a little bit of consolidation going on here. And let's not forget our Fibonacci retracement. Let's not forget our Fibonacci retracement tool, very important. So you can see this is the 61.8 retracement level here. And there was a bounce off, a pullback. So I'll be waiting for right now as a swing trader is a pullback, really. All the pairs are just giving us very, very good signals that there might be up moves. After a consolidation, we should be expecting a breakout. And that's how we should always think about it after a distributive phase of the market. So there's a bounce off, pullback. For a swing trader, I don't want to short here. For a long-term trader, I don't want to short here because where will I put my stop loss? Where will my stop loss be? It is too small. So what I'll be doing is I'm waiting for a retracement to the top side at this level for a very good risk to reward, a very good risk to reward ratio, very good risk to reward. So when you take out your Fibonacci retracement level on the daily time frame, you will likely see that where my green zone is more of a 61.8 retracement level. So as a swing trader, long-term trader, I'll be waiting patiently for buyers to bring Euro USD upside to me for me to short. So I'll be looking to short from here. So perhaps my risk and my reward. That's at least a 2:1 risk to reward ratio. That's all I'll be looking for the Euro USD. That's basically what I'll be looking for the Euro USD. So I'll be looking for this retracement to the top side and a continuation to the downside for the Euro USD. Hopefully that happens. Let's move to the Australian US dollar. Australian US dollar is giving us something similar to the Euro USD. So the Euro USD gave us something similar to a double top. So the Aussie gave us a double top here on the bigger time frame. You can see a double top here on the bigger time frame. DT left top, right top, and this bounced off here, very good. You can see it bounced off here, very good. So there's a bounce off, sellers came in, the pair goes back down. Also right now it's at a very good support for buyers to come in. So you can see on the daily time frame, this is support. So short-term traders will be buying this. For as a swing trader, because I have identified the bigger time frame and I have already identified my direction, I know that I'll be looking for this retracement to this offside for a short. So I'm short, I'm bearish on the Australian dollar. That is my view on the Australian dollar. I'm short. So you can see a little bit of consolidative pattern here depicted by the trend line. When it breaks up, when this sharp moves comes up, I'll be looking to short here from here. Depending on the evidence when it gets here, I like to short. If it then continues up, I'll be looking for another double top here to see if I enter on a short. So always put your stop losses, always calculate your risk as always before going to a trade. You just don't want to make all the money you have, all the money you need in the world in a trade. That's never going to happen. So you need to protect what you have first of all. That's how we play the game. Australian dollar, let's go to the USD card. So the USD card has been from last year, it has been giving us huge ranges. To give you a bigger picture on the monthly time frame, you can see that for most of you that are familiar with patterns, you'll be able to see that this is a descending triangle. So this is your support, this is your descending this higher, a lower high, a lower high, lower high, but the same low basically. But this red candle broke out on this low. So after a breakout, you expect a retest. So this green candle might be our retest. So I'll be looking forward for indecisive price action on this level. So I'll wait for a while, see if this price goes back into the triangle. If it doesn't goes back and it gives me a very good indecisive pattern over the coming days, I might go for a short. So when you go back to the weekly, you see that go back to the weekly. You can see this. You can see clearly that and there was a breakout over here. So this might be a good retest. If there's an indecision here, we might see a continuation to the downside, depending on the volume. So what I'll be looking for right now is to wait patiently for any short signals we can get on the USD card. Always put your stop losses. So I'm looking at two levels. First of all, this level. Second of all, this level at the top here. So either this or this. But over the coming weeks, you'll see which one plays out best. Always put your stop losses, guys. Very important. And the last pair is USD Chef. USD Chef, we had very good time with USD Chef last year. Here it is again. On the bigger time frame, you can see this this pattern here. What it's called, I will leave you to that to determine what this pattern is called. So there's a breakout of this pattern. I take my Fibonacci retracement level. I bring it back here. You could see this pair bounce of 61.8, and there's a continuation to the downside. So breakout, retest. Then from there, you might see continuation, or we might even see a new cycle breaking out. So what we want to do now is follow the trend, basically, because this red candle has told us what this pair is doing. So let's break it down to the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame, you can see there's a demand level here. That's double bottom on the smaller time frame, but the bigger time frame is more signals on the bigger time frame are stronger than the smaller time frame. So when we pick our double top, when we pick our Fibonacci retracements for the impulsive move, we see that this pair is likely to end at this level, 61.8 level. So this might be a good place for trend followers to go in. And this pair is already showing indecision here at this level for us. Selling us, sell me at this level. So I'll continue to wait for my trading setup, for my trading for my entry criteria before I take any action on this pair. So you can see that the retest going on, and there might be a continuation to the downside. The retest going on here. So this might just break out and continue to the downside. So short sellers will be looking for short. Yes, all right, guys. I think that was all. Please drop your questions. Whichever way you'd like me to improve on this video, just tell me what you need to know. Tell me what to make on the next video. I'd love to hear it from you. Hopefully we'll do more videos, more educative stuff with you guys. All right, guys. Enjoy your week, and don't forget to share the video and subscribe, guys. Take care.